And I will not allow that. I will fight till the end.
Certainly not the brightest person. And what she just said just doesn't make any sense. It's just like so silly to say. It's not a well thought out.
Hello. In the realm of high-profile media, there's nothing more intense than when a public figure goes head-to-head with the press itself. That's exactly what's happening right now, as Melania Trump, the former First Lady, is suing The View for an eye-popping $100 million. But why? It all stems from some inflammatory remarks made by the show's hosts. Comments so cutting, they've ignited a legal firestorm. This isn't just another lawsuit. Melania's not only defending her reputation, she's sending a powerful message about how public figures are treated in the media. If she wins, it could forever change the way we view the media-celebrity dynamic. And then there's Joe Rogan, an outspoken critic of the mainstream media who's jumped into the fray. Rogan took aim at The View, calling out their hypocrisy and mocking the host's intelligence, stirring up a storm among his massive following. What started as a defamation lawsuit could quickly snowball into a much broader conversation about freedom of speech, media ethics, and how public figures navigate their public personas. This is one case you won't want to miss. Let's dive in. Let's begin with the lawsuit itself. Melania Trump is seeking a jaw-dropping $100 million from The View, accusing the hosts of making defamatory statements that harmed her reputation. To understand why this is such a huge deal, you need to look at the gravity of the allegations. The View, one of America's biggest daytime talk shows, aired remarks that Melania claims tarnished her image. This lawsuit is especially daring, given that Melania is already no stranger to public scrutiny. This isn't just about defending her name, it's about taking control of her own narrative. By suing The View, Melania is signaling that she's not willing to let defamatory remarks go unanswered. And here's the kicker. She's not backing down. Many public figures might shy away from a lawsuit this high profile, fearing it could backfire. But Melania has made it clear, when it comes to her reputation, she'll go to any lengths to protect it. So what exactly did the hosts of The View say that caused such an uproar? The comments didn't just critique Melania's role as First Lady, they attacked her character. On a recent episode, the hosts dissected her time in the White House, and their opinions were far from flattering. One of the most shocking remarks suggested that Melania didn't seem to care about her role, even implying she was unhappy in her marriage to Donald Trump. They painted her as a woman trapped in her own life, criticizing everything from her involvement in White House decor to her approach to Christmas traditions. In one particularly bizarre moment, they even claimed that Melania hated Christmas, a statement that was as unfounded as it was startling. They even insinuated that Melania was possibly unhappy living with her husband, creating a narrative that portrayed her as cold, distant, and disconnected from the people she once stood beside. What makes this even more infuriating for Melania is that these remarks were aired live for millions to hear. The View is known for stirring up controversy, but these comments felt like personal attacks, based more on assumptions and speculation than any real facts. Now you might be asking, why does Joe Rogan's opinion matter in all of this? The answer is simple. He's got a massive platform and isn't afraid to speak his mind. When Rogan caught wind of Melania's lawsuit, he wasted no time calling out The View for what he saw as blatant hypocrisy. Rogan pointed out that not too long ago, Donald and Melania Trump were warmly welcomed on The View. In fact, the hosts treated them like old friends. Whoopi Goldberg, Joy Behar, and Barbara Walters, some of the show's biggest names, were all smiles, hugging them, and even calling them friends on air. So what changed? Rogan believes it all boils down to politics. He suggested that once Donald Trump started running for president, the media narrative around him and Melania shifted in a dramatic negative direction. What bothered Rogan most was how quickly the hosts turned on the Trumps. Their once warm reception was replaced with harsh criticism, and Melania, who had been embraced by the hosts before, became the target of their unwarranted attacks. For Rogan, this wasn't about truth. It was about political bias and sensationalism. Rogan didn't just criticize The View's political flip-flopping, he also took aim at the intelligence of its hosts. He jokingly suggested that even if you average the IQs of The View's hosts, you'd still be struggling to break into triple digits. While this might sound like a throwaway remark, Rogan was calling attention to the show's tendency to prioritize drama over substance. And here's the thing, Rogan isn't alone. Many people feel that The View thrives on controversy. The hosts regularly make headlines for their outspoken and often divisive opinions. But when it comes to defending those opinions, they rarely face any accountability for the harm their words cause. Rogan's criticism brings attention to how the media industry, especially talk shows like The View, tends to prioritize clicks and ratings over responsible journalism. At the heart of Melania's lawsuit is a critical question. What can be said about public figures without crossing the line into defamation? This case isn't just about hurt feelings, it's about the intersection of free speech, public scrutiny, and the responsibility of the media. If Melania wins, it could set a precedent that forces media outlets to rethink how they handle statements about public figures. Should celebrities and politicians be entitled to a certain level of privacy, or does their fame mean they must accept any criticism, regardless of how baseless? A victory for Melania could lead to a wave of similar lawsuits, pressuring media outlets to reconsider their approach to discussing public figures. Some critics have suggested that Melania's lawsuit isn't only about defending her reputation, it might also be a strategic move. With Donald Trump's political future under intense scrutiny, some believe that this lawsuit could help shift the public's focus back to Melania, drawing attention away from her husband's legal and campaign-related battles. Whether or not that's true, one thing is clear. Melania isn't afraid to step into the spotlight when it comes to protecting her name. While many public figures might shy away from high-profile legal battles, Melania has opted for a more direct approach, positioning herself as someone ready to fight for her reputation. This lawsuit isn't just about legal strategy, it's an act of defiance. Melania Trump is demanding that the media be held accountable for its actions. She's making it clear that defamatory comments have real-world consequences. For her, this isn't just personal, it's about setting a standard for how public figures should be treated. What's especially notable here is how quickly Melania took action. In today's media landscape, many high-profile figures would issue a statement or let the issue slide. But Melania isn't letting these comments go unchecked. With $100 million on the line, she's showing that she's in it for the long haul. So what's the public saying about Melania's lawsuit? As you'd expect, opinions are divided. Some believe she's in the right, fighting to protect her image from a media that often attacks public figures without the facts to back it up. Others think this is just a publicity stunt, an attempt to remain relevant now that the Trumps aren't at the political forefront. What's interesting is that this lawsuit has sparked a broader conversation about media ethics and freedom of speech. Should the media have free rein to say anything about public figures, or do they have a responsibility to ensure their comments are based on truth? As Melania's case unfolds, this debate will likely grow more heated, with many wondering where the line should be drawn. If Melania wins her lawsuit, it could change the way media outlets approach personal stories about public figures. The View and other talk shows might be forced to take a more cautious approach when discussing celebrities and politicians' private lives. For years, media outlets have operated under the assumption that public figures have little right to privacy because of their fame. But Melania's lawsuit challenges this assumption. If she prevails, it could spark a wave of legal action that forces media outlets to rethink how they handle stories about public figures. It's a bold move, and one that could reshape the landscape of news and entertainment journalism forever. As this lawsuit plays out, it's clear that Melania Trump is fighting for more than just her reputation. She's standing up against a media industry that often spins stories without accountability. If she wins, it could change how the press covers public figures for years to come. Whether Melania wins or loses, one thing is certain. This case has ignited a crucial conversation about freedom of speech, public scrutiny, and the media's responsibility. As more public figures begin to challenge the media's power, we may just see a shift in how the press operates, one lawsuit at a time. Stay tuned, this story is far from over. We'll keep you updated with the latest developments, and don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments below. Is Melania in the right? Should the media be held accountable for defamation? Let us know and make sure to subscribe for more updates on this unfolding drama.